Testes, one, two, three.
They put this right.
I don't see where it says anybody's waiting. Oh, I gotta slide this over. Receiving your content. There we go. It says we're live. What's up, Lenny Wright? We got Screwface up in the chat. What's up, man? See him too often in the chat. I think I saw him in T's live stream though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lenny. Yeah.
No, Screwface.
Oh, Screwface. Oh, okay.
Screwface and John Doe.
All right, what's up, everybody? I got to just throw this out. There's a big storm hitting my area, so if the podcast stream ends, then it means I lost power, because it seems like I lose power if somebody queefs around here. So we're going to have potential 100-mile-per-hour winds in certain areas, so hopefully we can get through it. We're going to start just quickly what people have been gaming on the past week. I was playing Rocket League as usual, but I actually started Uncharted. Is it Drake's Misfortune? Is that the first one?
Drake's Fortune, I think.
Fortune. It's just
Drake's Fortune? Okay. Started that, and it's a pretty good looking PS2 game, considering. I can't remember the last time I played the demo on PS3 when it was new. And that's the only time I've really ever paid attention to the first game. Then I bought the second game, played that back in 2016. And it was impressive looking for considering as a PS3 game. But, man, the first game the cutscenes, everything look really bad, even in the remaster on the PS4. So they
not aged well at all.
No, they came a long way in just the second game in those 2 years with that engine. But I just figure, what the hell. I'm gonna probably make my way through it, and then if I can make it through, I'll probably start the third game. I figure I got those games for free when Sony gave away that trilogy and Journey, so that's what I didn't play long though, probably about an hour or so. First area I'm in with Sully, some puzzle solving stuff. But all right, so we're gonna go in order of the people that arrived here. So Retro, what you been playing the last week?
Man, I've been wasting my time. Like August 4th, like a new game launched. It came out of beta. It's called Fall Guys. You pay it on Steam, but if you have PlayStation Plus, you got it for free. And it's kind of like a battle royale semi-platform obstacle course game, and it's fucking hilarious. Like
everybody's
60 little
playing
guys, and just like running towards a goal, like obstacles, and trying to like cram through doors and shit. It's so much fun, and yeah, it's like going crazy. Like the first 2 days, like the devs couldn't keep up. The servers were crashing. Like there was nothing they could do. Like I think the Twitter account launched. It got like 300K followers in a day. Like it's absolutely going mental. The whole thing. Like it's the most played game on Twitch. It's just. And it's so much fun, man. It deserves it. And that's literally the only thing I've been playing. And just a little bit of Control on the side, but it's been mostly Fall Guys. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh yeah, Control.
I saw footage of that game. A couple of my friends were like, "Yo, you need to get this game for Steam, man." It looks interesting. It's very much like I forget what those obstacle course games are called. Like on ABC has a couple of them are like that.
Yeah.
It looks cool though.
It's just very stream friendly, and I think that's why it's taken off, because people see their favorite streamers playing it and they want to play it. I think it'd be fun if all of us were like playing in the same, because it's like last man standing. It looks fun, and everybody who listens to play it is just laughing their asses off and just.
Yeah, that's why it's funny. You just keep on laughing. It's just so goofy.
It's just, how does this? It seems so simple of an idea, and it's like, how did it blow up so fast? It's like, why can't?
Like, I was gonna say, visually, it reminds me of that Dreamcast game, Pin Triathlon.
Yeah, it's just very simple. The art style, the character models are just very. I don't know if it's just randomly selected what your character model looks like. Your character.
No, you because it's kind of like it has microtransaction in it. Like you can buy shit, but you can earn everything in the game. But you have like costumes and like poses and little patterns and colors. Like you unlock a lot of shit to like customize your character the way
I mean,
you
it
want
looks
them.
like a game Nintendo would have come up with.
Yeah,
It would have
it
been
just,
local
you know
co-op
what?
only, but
It feels like a Nintendo game. In the beginning, they kind of show the courses, and with the music even that you hear, it sounds and looks exactly like in Mario Kart when they kind of introduce a track in Mario Kart or something like that. And some of the music, like, almost sounds like straight up ripped out of Splatoon. It has a lot of
Yeah,
Nintendo
it
in it.
does.
and just seeing
It
like
does
you can
it.
grab other like characters, and it's just
Oh yeah, people
funny.
are
It's
dicks.
funny to watch, and like this Rocket League streamer I'm subscribed to, she just like that's all she played this weekend. I was like, oh, R.I.P. Rocket League, you know, on this channel, and she finally started playing Rocket League again today. But it's just crazy how it's like everyone talks about, you know, all the, you know, next gen realistic visuals, and people don't like this cartoon, you know, some of these diehard gamers, and then you see a lot of these people playing this silly game and having a blast. It's just weird that game companies can't come up with these types of hit games more often. But you can't predict what the consumers will latch onto.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's such a simple, smart idea. Like I'm playing this, and I'm like, how is this not yet a thing before? Like it's just so simple.
And yeah, you know, you praised Control last week to high heaven, and then
Oh yeah.
in typical retro fashion, you barely touched it, and then, since then.
No, I've still played it. I've unlocked like new
Retro.
abilities and stuff, and I wanted to talk about it earlier with you about some shit that I wanted to say. I just didn't really because,
we'll talk.
like I said, I'm not lying. Like Fall Guys just took up most of my time.
All right, so Clocked it. You been playing anything the past week other than your Sega Saturn?
Yeah. I have been pretty much retro gaming. Playing.
Oh, Banjo-Kazooie.
I've been on this streak
Gee.
because I've had it out. Just been playing stupid shit. Can't help it. The type of stuff I've been playing.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, I just
It's
dipping in and out of all
It's
of
like,
them.
when's it going to stop?
They're on my desk there because my N64 is by there.
I was
But,
waiting for you just to
yeah.
pick up the N64 and just be like, this is all this.
It's plugged in, so I'm not
Half
going
of
to
those
plug
games are
it. But
remastered on Switch, so.
yeah, honestly, I've been playing Paper Mario still, you know, of course, and Breath of the Wild. I've stopped on Pillars of Eternity at the moment because I can't handle two large games at the same time at the moment. Paper Mario is actually some of the areas you go in. I've gotten to this area that's just straight up out of Wind Waker, man. Anyway, it's just like this, just huge.
Yeah.
So Paper Mario's areas can be quite big, and especially if you're a bit OCD like me, we would like some games you just want to comb every area and find every secret. Is that type of game. So
Yeah, your camera cut out, by the way.
yeah, nothing. What's that?
Your camera cut out on my screen.
It's the perfect freeze frame, though. He's staring into
is
your
it?
soul.
I'm like this.
And also, what's up to Malik? He's in the chat. Visor Grunt's in here. Rock, yeah. Trilink, Lightning. What's up? What I see? Somebody said something I wanted to read. Oh, Malik says he's playing Wii first-person shooter games, and he really wants the Conduit 3 on Switch. I never did play the Conduit games. I was always intrigued by them. I've
heard so much good.
heard the controls and everything are great, but the level design, especially in the first game, was just kind of
A little
lacking.
bland.
Yeah.
You only got Conduit 1 on the Switch.
Conduit 2 as well. Or no. Well, he just means he wants a third game, and obviously on the Switch. But I don't know if that company's still together. They remember all the plans they had, that werewolf game.
Yeah, I think
And
they got.
Yeah.
I think they went bankrupt.
Look at this game engine we got. This game's running on.
Conduit 3 was supposed to be on 3DS.
So all right, T, what you been playing past week?
Besides retro stuff, Paper Mario, Origami King. I just downloaded the Donkey Kong DLC for Rabbids. See my statue.
Mhm.
And still New Game Plus in Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I'm gonna start that.
Pretty much it. I mean, if I got into the retro stuff I'm playing, I could be speaking for a minute. So I won't.
Yeah, we got to get to some questions because they've been building up. So,
Yeah.
Terrell, what have you been playing the past week?
I'm in the final stretch of Final Fantasy VII. I think I'm at the cave that I have to go through, and then after that, it's the Sephiroth boss fight, and then I'm done with the game. So I'm hoping to bust that out by the end of next weekend or so. I got to figure out how to approach it.
Is this the PS1 original?
Yeah, the PS1 original
On Switch,
So
though.
I haven't.
Cool.
This is my first time playing it, and I've heard people suggest, "Oh, you need the level grind for like another 10 or 15 levels because apparently the final boss is like at level 85, even though everything else before was like in its 50s." But I think if I do some side quests and supposedly if I get some of the limit breaks, I can go ahead and just go for it. So I might do some
But
off-screen stuff.
you're in the North Crater now, are you?
Yeah. I literally just got to the North Crater. So I got to go through that, and then I think it's just the boss fight. Because it did a whole end of disc 2 thing for me. It's like, okay, all right, I'm on the final disc. It's all right, I know what's up now. So that, and primarily that, and a little bit of Shantae.
Yeah, you've been listening or on the stream. You mentioned Shantae, and you're like hearing you like not praise. You're not like dogging it or anything, but you're not really seeming that excited about it. I'm like, man, should I even bother?
I mean, it's fine
Because
it won't blow you away by any means, but it's fine.
Because I was pretty unimpressed with the last one, and I just felt too short. Didn't have any dungeons. Didn't really have any depth to it. I felt like
I'll say this: it's better. It's definitely better than the last one in terms of level design and in terms of like fluidity and movement, because the transformations are all button mapped, so it doesn't feel like you have to stop, do a dance, then transform, then do the action, then de-transform to continue the level. It's all pretty fluid in that sense. It's just, I guess for me, because I played the other Shantae games, it reminds me a lot of like Shantae, not Pirate's Curse, Risky's Revenge, like a more complete version of that. That's the second game, and it's better in that sense, but it also doesn't go as far as I feel like I needed it to.
Yeah, it feels like just looking at it. I honestly probably wouldn't even be able to tell the difference between the two newest ones, and if take any screenshot of any part of a level, and they look like they could be the same game, and I just feel like their level design is getting stagnant, where it's like you go into a screen and it's like there's this one hump to jump over, a couple gems and an enemy, and then it's like, well, that seemed like kind of a wasted screen.
My biggest frustration is because originally this game was made for like Apple Arcade and shit. It was exclusive to there for like a few months, I believe, and I feel like they designed the game with like a mobile mindset in head, and it was just like some of the levels, it just like there's an abundance of like save points and everything. It's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know why they can't recapture the Pirate's Curse. Like, build upon that, make the game bigger, add awesome dungeon style.
I'll put it this way: I think they're going in the right direction, at least as far as the extensions to Shantae's moveset. I think the level design just needs to change.
But I also didn't rinse, using Clocktic's term, half Genie Hero. I only played it the one time, and I was like, I'm kind of done with that. You know, I kind of started a little bit the second time. I think you played it quite a bit more.
Yeah, I bought it. I think I bought it on Wii U, and then I rebought it on Switch, and then I played through it, I think 4 times in total, trying to do like a hero mode playthrough. It's weird because I now know that game, that level design in and out, but I still say probably Curse is the better game.
And for anybody that hasn't figured out yet, we some of us have our Switch collections in the background here. Clocked it, and Retro Death had more. I only had a few physical games to showcase, so I got picked. Wonderful 101.
Oh, I see what you guys are doing. Okay.
Rayman, Hyrule Warriors, Bayonetta 2, New Super Mario Brothers U. So
my brain clicked out for a second. I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Oh, I see what we're doing." Okay.
Because I have Pikmin 3, Mario Kart 8, Captain Toad, and Tropical Freeze all digital, so I couldn't display those. But anyway, we're gonna get into questions.
The only new Switch IP behind me.
So some of these are from late or it's third week in July. So I didn't not gonna like pre-read. We're just gonna go through them, get to as many as we can for the next half hour. So Lightning asked, which handheld type console do you regret not playing or having in your library? So he's got Game Gear, OG Game Boy, Atari Lynx, Neo Geo Pocket, Turbo Express, others not mentioned. I would say Sega Game Gear. There wasn't a second one, was there? That was the only one.
No.
So I'll just quickly answer. I don't regret not owning any of those. Now, maybe back in the day, I would have loved to have owned one of them, but I don't have any regrets personally.
I missed out on. I say I missed out. I was working in a video game shop called Game Station during the Wii 360, PS3, DS, and PSP era, and it's quite weird being in retail at the time because the amount of trash that got traded in for the PSP, like all the UMD discs, all the movies and stuff. You just like, this ain't no game console. I'd rinsed like Grand Theft Auto on the PlayStation 2, so I wasn't in the mood for the portable GTA and all this stuff. But the PSP still had some good games, and I'm only now recently regretting not playing the original PSP because I might actually go back and try to buy it if I can and get some of the games I missed out on, like Ridge Racer, like some of the Metal Gears, like Lumini, and just some of those games. So yeah, I think the PSP, the original one.
Yeah, I wouldn't minded having one of those for the few games I probably would have played, but
yeah, I'll co-sign on that. I kind of low-key I've been getting that way about the Vita as of like the last year or so. Not sure why. It just was one of those things that the Vita had a bunch of dumb things about it in terms of expensiveness that made me not want to touch it, but like nowadays I feel like it's one of those consoles I wouldn't mind like retroactively owning.
Yeah, I wonder what the original ones that had the OLED screen are going for in this day and age, like used or even.
They're still going. I thought they were still going for like 200.
Because they stopped doing the OLED screen to save costs, and picture quality took a hit.
115.
And it's funny because I was watching a teardown. Somebody was fixing something forget what it was now. That Vita is so well constructed with metal frames and like just the circuit boards and stuff, motherboards, I guess you will, are just so well organized and it's so well put together that when you see the Switch like teardown in comparison, it's like one looks like a really expensive, sophisticated device, and the other just looks like not quite a child's toy torn apart, but just the difference between the build quality of the Vita and the Switch it's night and day. I was surprised.
I need to watch a teardown of the Vita then because I haven't seen that.
It's got like a metal frame, like the top, the venting and stuff's all like aluminum or probably.
Yeah,
Switch got that plastic that's cracking. But anyway,
I know I've turned them down. So,
anybody else got a handheld you regret not having?
I did.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Sega Game Gear. A lot of the stuff we look back at now, not so fondly on the Game Gear. There's a lot of cool workarounds now, so it's not as bad. Like I guess the ghosting issue with the LCD and whatnot. There's a lot of people who mod them now where they can do all cool stuff. And they have really nice LCD, and obviously the battery life. There's mods for that stuff too. But it has a really good library, and it's still pretty cheap. So maybe at some point,
you can get upgrade. You can like mod those with better screens and stuff, like really good screens. Retro, what was your answer?
Well, I was gonna say, like, as a collector later down the years, I always wanted a Game Gear and a WonderSwan, but my actual answer from actually growing up is I always regretted never really focusing on the Game Boy Advance. I've mentioned it before. I bought a Game Boy Advance just for a Pokemon Ruby, I think, and I think I got like one or two other games on it, and that's it. And I know the Advance has a fuckload of really awesome games, and I just regret never getting into it. Oh, Golden Sun is the other one I have. And then later down the year, I bought like Mario Kart and F-Zero, but there's so many games on there I just never got to experience. So that's definitely one I often in my head have as a regret that I didn't just dive into it.
Yeah, I guess just to go back to, I said I didn't have any, but I mean, I wouldn't have hated having the original Game Boy back in the day. My buddy had it, and I played Tetris mostly and Mario Land a little bit, but
Game Boy.
if I would have had it, I probably would have played it. So since we're on handhelds, I have a game plan it's a gaming, it's similar to the last two games we played, but this one's actually a video game collection. But before that, I want to get the order, and I want to get a person in the chat. We're not going to do the game right now, but the first person to type "I want to play," pop up in the chat, you can play along. So whoever gets there first gets to be the person. And then I'm going to ask a question that's related to handheld games to figure out the order of who gets to go first. So we'll give it like 10 more seconds. If somebody doesn't say they want to play, then I guess we won't have a contestant from.
Well, I mean, you know, we got that YouTube lag.
It's not that lag's not that long, but Twitch is definitely quicker. All right, try links in. So, number between 0 and 15, and how many DS games do I currently own? And that, I'll just give a hint. I don't have all the ones I originally had in. So just guess a number between 0 and 15. How many Nintendo DS games do I own? So just throw out a number, and then whoever's closest.
I'm gonna say 5.
Fuck you.
You were too slow, bitch.
That's literally the number I had too. I'll go with 2 then.
Original DS. I'm gonna go with 6 games. Let's go.
TriLink said 8. Clocked it said 6. T.
I think he's muted.
Is he?
Yeah, he's muted. I see the symbol.
We had somebody guess 15. We had somebody guess. I said between 0 and 15, Lenny.
Yeah, but I mean 15 could be a number.
Well, we'll wait till T gets back. We'll ask the next question, and then when T gets back, we'll figure out what it, because I ain't gonna say nothing. But so TriLink asked on July 20th, if coronavirus wiped out most of humanity by the end of 2020, what would be the last game you would play? And then his follow-up question, what one of the upcoming games you wish you could have played? So that's a good question.
What would be the last game
I think I would just play Breath of the Wild one last time. Honestly, T, are you there?
I'd go to that Hyrule, man. I'd go to that Hyrule.
T,
and then
T
the
back?
last game I'd want to play.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so number between 0 and 15, how many DS games do I own at this point?
DS, original DS?
Yeah. So I'll just tell everyone else's guesses. Retro has 2, Clocked It guessed 6, Terrell guessed 5, and TriLink guessed 8. Has to be a different number from one of those.
Between what?
0 and 15.
0.
No, it'd have to be 1 or...
I'll say
Savagery.
4.
All right, T got it. Nailed it right on the head there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Son of a bitch.
So T gets to go first in the
wait,
game.
yeah.
Then
Let me
Terrell.
guess.
Hmm?
Do you have Zelda games?
I have a Zelda game.
Yeah. So you have Spirit Tracks.
No.
No. The other one then. What's the other one?
Phantom Hourglass.
Phantom Hourglass. Okay.
Yeah, if you guys want to guess the other ones just for shits and giggles, there's 3 more.
You got Mario Kart DS.
Contra 4.
Yep, Mario Kart DS.
Contra
Metroid
4.
Hunters.
I had Metroid Prime Hunters, but traded it in.
No.
No Contra 4?
No.
A Mario game.
Yeah, the only one. The main reason I bought the DS was New Super Mario Brothers.
Jesus.
Mario Brothers.
And then Beautiful Joe is the other one. Double Trouble or whatever.
Double trouble.
So so that the order will be T, Terrell, Retro, Clocked It, and Trilink for the game that we'll play here after a few questions. But let's get back to Trilink's question. The last game you would play before the end of humanity at the end of this year with coronavirus wipes us all out. What's the last game you want to play? And then what's an upcoming game you'd really wish you could have played before the world ended? So Clocked It, you were kind of talking.
Yeah, my first one is I mean, if I'd want to just stay in that Hyrule, man. I'd find a beautiful sunset, and I'd snuff out. And game I'd regret missing. It would have been between Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid Prime 4. But seeing as we know nothing about Prime 4, I'd have to go with Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, I'd have to probably. I mean, I hate to say the same exact answer, but that's definitely that or Bayonetta 3, I guess, would be the two that
I don't want none of that Robert bullshit. Pick one.
But we have Breath of the Wild, so I might go a different route just for something completely different. But somebody else has a different answer.
Silk Song. Go on, Retro.
Mario Kart 9.
Tropical Freeze 2.
I'd probably say Xenoblade 2 would be the game. Say what?
Pikmin 4?
Oh, no. Xenoblade 2 would be the game I would play that I can play now. And then future game.
New Pokemon Snap. Come on, just say it.
No, because I like that game, but like I'm not as obsessed with it as like the rest of the fan base is. Say what?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
No, what did you say, Rich? I didn't hear you.
My stream janked out. I didn't hear what game you picked.
Oh, I said Xenoblade 2 would be my the game I can currently play. In the game I wish I wouldn't want to miss out on would probably be Bayo 3, I think.
All right, who's next? Retro?
I'll go next. If it's the last game I'll play, it has to be my favorite game no matter what.
Titles.
Yeah, it has to be, of course. And obviously, the game I would look forward to, it's got to be Breath of the Wild 2, because it's one of those types of games where you just keep thinking, like I can't just not experience what that game would be. And like what Clark had said, with Metroid Prime 4, people can be like, it's going to be like Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, but, you still don't know what the fuck they're going to do with it. And Breath of the Wild 2, at the very least, it's going to be amazing.
All right, T, what's your choices?
Last game, what is it again?
The last game that's out now that you'd want to play, as you take, your dying breath or something, and then the game you really wish you could have played, but because it wasn't out, you couldn't play it. So a future game.
Ocarina of Time.
N64 version, I'm guessing.
Good choice.
What was it? The game that's
an up and coming game that won't be out in time for something that we know about coming next year probably or later.
Man,
Nothing.
I mean, I don't want to use one you guys already used. I'll just go with Bayonetta 3.
All right, and I mean, there's a couple that I wouldn't put at the top that I'm looking forward to, like that Kana game. That's PS4, PS5, and I think PC. That looked, I don't know, it might not be the most amazing game though. And then like a Xenoblade, the Monolith Soft game they teased. I'd love to see what that turns out to be, something like that. But all right, so Dave97. Do you think Nintendo is trying to phase out the Nintendo Direct branding? In their last investors Q&A, Furukawa said how they might try to adapt their digital presentations in the future. I don't know why you'd get rid of the Nintendo Direct brand.
Probably not the branding. Maybe the way
on this year, I wouldn't mind.
I think the way he wants to He may want to change.
Well, they might change the name. They might,
They
but
might change how it is, but I mean, I don't.
shit, we gotta talk about the investors, the sales and stuff too. Shit.
Well, half the fun of that is usually y'all guessing what.
Yeah, I only saw
the
top
sales
3 or
and all.
Whatever, but
Oh, did you?
yeah. Anybody think they're gonna phase out the branding? I don't know that they'd get rid of Nintendo
I don't know,
Direct,
not the branding. I don't think they
No.
might.
but
Nintendo's kind of weird about that. They constantly want to change it.
I'd get rid of the whole mini and micro bullshit and just
It's annoying and confusing.
have a Nintendo Direct and then have other presentations, I guess. But
either way, they
I mean,
won't
can
change the
I
Nintendo
ask?
Directs. Go ahead.
Oh, because mine's gonna be long, so you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, either way, they're not gonna change the Nintendo Direct branding because the great thing about it, the power behind it, is the fact that it gets the dumbest fucking games trending. That's the power behind the Nintendo Direct. If you change all that, then it's just not having the same power anymore. Then shit is gonna trend and people don't even know what it's gonna be.
I mean, if they come up with something,
I would think like leave Nintendo Direct for like your mainline stuff, but come up with something different, like Nintendo Partner Presents or something for third-party stuff, or
yeah. I mean, and
that way.
I kind of like the what was it called in the E3 a few years ago? It wasn't Nintendo Direct. It was just Nintendo's digital event, or was
Digital event.
Yeah, that's what they.
well.
call
Then
it.
there was another. I think that the next year they did something different, something showcase. I feel like it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Spotlight also,
changed
I
the
think.
wording a bit.
I kind of like that one, but I can't remember it now exactly what it was called. But
Partner Showcase.
Clocked it. Did you have some? You said it was gonna be a long answer, but
No, I was probably crazy discussion to have. Probably too long. All I was going to say was, just based off what we're seeing, like what's happening with the directs and the Switch and stuff. Do you feel that perhaps I don't know who it could be. I don't know who else may be involved. Because he was at the top. But do you feel like the fact that the 3DS and the Wii U, even though the 3DS became successful, it still struggled initially and stuff, and they had to do so much. Do you feel like Iwata would have been pushed out, or they didn't want him there anyway? Hence, when we're seeing stuff like directs and stuff, that narrative changing, how the Switch is now and stuff like that. Do you think the direct is an Iwata thing that they no longer want to do?
Oh,
that's possible
for sure. I was gonna say because direct is definitely a Wada's thing, and I think the new president, you're coming in, you don't want to do it, the last president's thing, especially if you're not charismatic and you're not going to actually be on the direct.
Yeah, where they have who's the guy they usually have with this finger snap? What's his name?
Koizumi.
Koizumi.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he did the
like
direct
that.
thing once, I think, but I think that it probably would make sense to change the name from that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I totally forgot about that, but yeah, directs are Wada's thing. That's something he started. So they may, Ford Carl may want to move away from it because he's making his mark now, and we're all enjoying it.
And the directs, you
I was
have
just thinking that.
you have to remember that the directs used to be, it didn't used to just be game presentations. These were sometimes events. We had all the skits and stuff. Reggie fighting Iwata.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You had like full 3D Bowser's turning up. Flaming them and all this stuff. And someone posted the Wii Fit. Was it a Wii Fit demonstration direct that they done? And then they had the Wii Fit trainer, and she's like, breathe in slowly, stand up, raise your arms slowly above your head, and exhale. And do it direct towards you and stuff. These were events. Now they don't. They don't feel like that. They feel like they're just game trailers.
Basically. That's a good point. So maybe that's something we can make a full topic about.
Remember the Mario Kart 8 one?
Yeah, they had the like the Smash. It wasn't called a direct, but like the 50 facts. They should have a lot more personality to them. Mario Kart 8 had the history of the series and stuff. That one was great. So Deco Tree, this would be a good one. Do you think it's better for a company to be bought by Nintendo, Sony, or Xbox, or for that company to stay independent and put their games on all consoles?
Clearly Xbox.
I think it depends.
I don't know that it's... Is there any examples of like...
It depends on the company, I would think.
Yeah, we're being bought, like actually ended up with like great results. Being bought by anybody ended up with like...
I used to say this a lot, and we all used to say it, Nintendo by Sega, Nintendo by Platinum and stuff like that. Like every time I used to say Nintendo by Sega, I think mostly now in part, especially modern Sega, I want Nintendo to have certain Sega IPs more than the Nintendo spectrum of games. So I think it'd be great if Nintendo had a Shinobi type of game. It'd be great if Nintendo had a Phantasy Star Online type of game. Just a type of games that they don't really deal with, but you've got these great IPs to go with it. I wouldn't necessarily want them to have the whole of Sega, because the whole of Sega is a minefield of what the fudgicles.
Yeah, but I also want to see Nintendo put their quality on a Sonic, like a 3D Sonic, or some of the franchises that maybe could use a little more polish and stuff. But I mean, I guess I'd rather just companies stay independent in this day and age. Like Team Cherry, I mean, maybe if they were bought by Nintendo, they could have had Silksong out by now, because we're going like 2 years. It was supposed to be out 2019. Now we're almost at the end of 2020. And no release date.
I don't think you need a buyout for that. You just need a good publisher,
Yeah, they just need some better support.
In defense of Silksong, remember that started out as like a reward tier for the original Hollow Knight that you just expanded on so much that they just, it obviously needed a lot more time than what they had.
But they showed it in mid 2019 at E3, and it looked polished as hell. Like I don't know, they just wanted to keep adding more stuff to it, and that's why it's they just like might as well keep adding to it till it's a full-fledged game. Who knows, they haven't even spoken about it.
It's like I usually don't care if companies buy studios or whatever. It could help the studio with funding and all that kind of shit. The only answer for me is that I just don't want Xbox buying studios, because then your studio either crumbles or it gets stuck in limbo forever.
Well, that was, that's happened a few times, so we'll see what they do now with the current Microsoft, if that's still a thing. But all right, so we're gonna play the game real quick. It's very similar to the last 2 weeks, other than last week was a complete fudge on my part, because I didn't realize their movies had different names in different regions. So this one's gonna be my physical Wii collection. But we're not going to count Wii Sports, obviously came with the system, Galaxy 1 and 2, or the 2 Zelda games. So those ones are already off the table. So the remainder of my Wii physical collection, I don't see TriLink didn't reply. He was going to be the other contestant. I said, oh, there he is. No, that's Lenny. I don't know where TriLink is. If he doesn't show up, we'll do it without him. So yeah, physical Wii games, no Galaxy 1 or 2, no Wii Sports, and no Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess. So T, you get to go first. Good luck.
How many are there? Do we get to know?
I mean,
no, I think we're guessing.
There's
right?
12. There's 12 sitting here.
Okay.
There's 12. Okay.
That's not including the other 5.
Okay.
All 3 games.
So T, and I'll go back to let's go back.
Oh, fuck me.
So you have 12 games, right?
Yeah, we're guessing out of the 12, I'm assuming.
And you said no Zelda or Mario?
Galaxy 1 or 2, no Wii Sports or the 2 Zelda games.
Okay. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm already
hoping.
my brain. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm already lost. Like, I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. That's why you're going first.
Well, it's easier to go first because then you got better chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't even think of a first game.
It's not. It's
I have to look
fuck.
at my collection to get an idea here.
Shit.
Call of Duty.
Really? That's your first guess?
All right, so let's
Didn't
go.
you say you played that to death? Wasn't it you?
You did play Call of Duty, but I think it was on the 360 you played it.
All right, Red Steel.
All right.
I don't know.
So who's next? Terrell.
I'm not looking forward to this at all. Fuck me.
We'll do 2 rounds if no one gets any this time.
Metroid Prime 3, right?
Metroid Prime 3, Corruption. Boom.
Oh, thank God.
Way to go, Terrell. He's going to win this again. All
Hey,
right.
stop it. You putting this pressure on me. I don't like it.
All right, Retro Death.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart Wii.
Yeah, of course.
Turn
What the hell?
off your camera.
God.
Oh, yeah, because y'all got to cut off the cameras when you fuck up.
Anybody who knows me knows that Mario Kart 8 was the first console Mario Kart game I ever owned.
Yeah, you did say that.
All right, clocked it. Pressure's on.
Ridiculous, man. What would you have?
All right, I'm gonna throw this out there. If somebody gets,
Obvious. Okay.
if somebody
I gotta
gets
go.
gets this one game, they get to skip a second turn.
I'm just gonna go with Donkey Kong Returns.
Donkey Kong Country Returns. Good choice. Good choice, my man. All right. So back to Terrell.
Oh, man. I'm scrolling through the list of Wii games.
Oh wait, TriLink. We gotta do TriLink.
Oh, yeah, let's try Link, yes.
Should have had your guess on it. Somebody could have taken it, but Wii games in my collection, not counting Galaxy 1 or 2, or because that would have been too obvious, Wii Sports, or the 2 Zelda games.
Shit.
So just think about it while we get TriLink's answer.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness.
You
Come
might-
on, Dry Link. We're waiting on you.
Take your time, TriLink. That's all I'm saying. Take your fucking time.
And there's one game on here. Like I said, you'll get to skip the next turn if you get it. That's how good of a guess it would be. TriLink, come on. Just type it. Just type it, hit enter.
Oh, fuck me.
I should have done like instant message like on using Discord.
I got 2 ideas, and I'm going to save them both and see if TriLink hit one, I'm going to try the other.
No more heroes. TriLink, you're out. TriLink's out.
I'm going to guess, because I think you said it before, Xenoblade Chronicles.
I have that digitally, so.
Oh, that's lame!
Ah,
Clocked it.
cold-blooded.
You want to see if you can. Or we could do another round because I still have 10 games left.
I wait.
Go
Let me
for it, bro.
try and guess. You. I reckon you'll have. Have you got Resident Evil 4? Can't remember if you did.
All right, so let's do another round.
No! Are you kidding me?
We're doing another round because that was pathetic.
That's what you
I'm
have.
back. And I'm black.
I'm just gonna throw this out there.
Y'all.
Just gonna throw this out there. I'm a Nintendo fan first and foremost. Third-party fan secondary. So we'll start again with T.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, I got one. I got another one.
Yeah, TriLink, if you can put your answer in Discord in the can we do let me see if I can just do it in like the general conversation.
Ready. Other M.
Fuck you! I wanted to say that one.
Other M. Trash. That trash ass game. Boom.
Say that
You got
one.
it.
I knew it.
Damn. Okay.
All right. So, Terrell.
I think you've said this one too. God, I hope this isn't digital. I would think not, but we'll see. Zack and Wiki.
Zack and Wiki, Quest for Barbossa's Treasure. That one.
Yeah.
Boom.
Ah, I knew it. I remember you saying it.
See,
so
this
I was
doing a
like,
lot better on the second round. I might run out of games and we'll have to switch to something else. Retro Death. Okami. Boom. You guys are getting better. Hey, look at the this had the IGN logo on it somewhere. Where's the IGN logo?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
on there.
mine has that too.
Pretty visible. That's how cheap that they were when they covered for that thing.
The problem is that now all the good shit's been taken.
All right, so that was retro. So clocked it.
I'm gonna go with Kirby's Epic Yarn. Why not?
Kirby's Epic. Easy
Sure, you
peasy
love that
yarn.
shit. It's like the best Kirby game.
Kirby's
ever.
Epic Yarn. All right, we're gonna run out of games.
got
Tri-Link's next. Hopefully, he puts it in the Discord. He might have. You guys might have taken some of his guesses, but
Yeah, Drazik, what the fuck is left?
come on, Tri-Link, get in there. People are making other guesses. I can't answer them, obviously. All your answers were taken. You giving up?
Yeah, you see, you got screwed. I knew it was gonna happen. Oh no. I'm just skimming through the list. I don't even know what the fuck.
GoldenEye Wii. That's an interesting.
Oh, that one.
That's,
a good one.
that's an interesting guess. Why would I have that trash?
Son of a bitch.
Of course you do.
That's such a random ass guess.
All right. Back to T. Got 5 games
go
left.
for it.
You got 5 games, okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, you do it again.
No! No!
Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
No! Fuck! It's like
Look
you
at that
cut
Club
my leg
Nintendo
off before I
code
even
right there.
stood up.
That Club Nintendo code still valid.
Damn it! Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna have to pull out a different collection to finish this game. Terrell.
I hate you, T. You just killed me on that one. I'm mad. I'm like low-key angry. about
Malik says GoldenEye Wii is better than GoldenEye N64.
Ooh, ooh. This is gonna start some shit.
Stop playing, Malik.
What would he have? You know what? Fuck. Oh,
I'm gonna change your name to Malik JK.
oh, you bitch. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here. I'm gonna say I don't think you did, but I can't think of anything else. Mad World?
Mad World.
Oh,
Who
you
fucking made that game? Sega or something? Was that a Sega game?
Hey, let's go! Let's go!
Fucking Terrell. Got 3 left. We're gonna come up with a different collection to finish it.
Oh, Christ.
Everybody's still in. Jesus.
So it's Retro's turn, right?
Retro, yep.
Yeah, okay.
I had a good answer. Didn't it mean I got to skip?
Oh.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if you have it, but like, I'll go for it.
Nope.
Oh, shit.
Nope.
No?
All right, first person out there.
That's good. That's good taste.
All right, clocked it. One of them, no one.
Have you got the? Have you got the Metroid Prime trilogy?
Not physically. Not physically. Got it on Wii U.
Fuck.
All right. Tri-Link. You got to get another one. Pull another one out your ass.
Jesus Christ.
Pat, what are you fucking eating? Jesus. Hold on.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's such a good guess.
What was his guess?
Trolling said Punch Out.
That's what I was thinking. But I wouldn't.
Try
sure
it
if
again.
he
Guess
owned it.
Punch Out. Don't have that digitally on the Wii U. Sorry, man. Good guessing though, but he's out. So
Yeah,
that
I was thinking about that one.
that
too.
brings it back to T.
Oh, you,
No.
No, but I will say, you guys are gonna be slapping yourselves if you don't. If Terrell.
what? Oh shit! I'm trying to think of the IPs. Okay, can I at least ask whether it's first party or not?
Hey,
I
you
have-
can't get hints.
I'm asking. I'm just asking. If you
Nah.
don't-
Nah,
Okay, that's fine.
I can't answer that.
I'm trying to think. I'm going through the IP, the first part.
I'll just say that there's 3 games left. That's your hint.
Damn.
You're gonna fail, Terrell.
I'm sick of your shit. I'm so sick of your shit, Clyde. You were like the worst motivational speaker, you bitch. Oh, fuck. I don't know which one it is though. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna say Mario Strikers. Fuck. I had to take a shot.
All right, so this since no one really won, there's a major first-party game.
T's still in, isn't he?
Nah, he
Oh
guessed.
no, wait, he went out to Wii U.
Yeah, there's a
To
major
Wii Fit,
first-party game. Person to guess it right. Just say it.
First party?
Major
Super
first-party.
Mario Bros.
There you go.
Oh.
See?
But somebody in the chat guessed my bonus game. The one I said was a 2-pointer. Elebits.
I wouldn't. There was no way I was gonna
Ellie
guess that shit.
And then the
No
Wii
way.
Motion
Oh,
Pro,
LED,
Wii Motion Plus, Extraordinaire, Tiger Woods, PGA Tour 10.
Never gonna guess that
Yeah.
I didn't even like it with the fucking motion. I liked it better with the analog sticks. That's how I played it. That's how I
There's
preferred it.
No way I would have guessed that.
one.
Elebits controlled like trash. Going back to it, like they didn't really get the first person controls right, but fun little game.
It's
I
ironic
like
because
that
I think they recently confirm that the Switch is getting a PGA Tour game. I thought I had.
Well, yeah, 2K.
Yeah.
All right, so but somebody guessed Elebits in the live chat. I think it was.
I would have never thought.
Yeah, who was it?
I've never
Donnie?
guessed that for you.
Excite Truck would have been a good one. I don't have it, but that would have been one you guys didn't guess.
That one would have made sense.
It was Screwface.
Screwface said that. Yeah, Guitar Hero I had, but I gave it away.
That I was thinking you would own one of those games.
I
It
had,
wasn't even a guess. This dude just like clocked it. He has like notes of our lives and shit. He knew it.
I thought I might throw you by saying no Galaxy 1 or 2, thinking in your minds that meant no Mario games. But so anyway, good stuff.
That did work though, because I was thinking to myself, okay, it's probably not even like the Mario Strikers or something. I was legit thinking that way.
So we better get to some topics here. There were some questions left, but I titled this Nintendo's Holiday Lineup, but that was before I knew realized they put out their numbers for sales. I know we usually talk about that, plus the state of play happened. So I don't know if we really need to talk about Nintendo's holiday lineup because right now it's Pikmin 3. So I thought we could maybe predict, but I think now that in the moment, I think maybe we'll go a different direction. So I'll just change that title. Just quickly, briefly discuss the state of play. I guess we can just give our quick thoughts on it for those of us that watched it and actually paid attention. And, Terrell. It's one of those things where it's like people tell you to lower your expectations, and it seemed logical once they said, hey, this is not PS5 announcements. It's just PlayStation 4, PlayStation VR, and some third-party games will be shown a little bit more that were shown in the PlayStation 5 event or whatever. So I was like, man, what the hell do they have left for the PlayStation 4 and VR this year? And it's like, pretty decent. I mean, nothing, there really wasn't any like, I'm going to rush out and buy day one type games, but it was a pretty good presentation with some varied types of games and a few waifu games, which I'm surprised Terrell didn't mention in your live stream.
I feel like Retro has created this perception of me that like any game that has
The
like an anime
waifu
chick
Breath
in
of the
it,
Wild,
it's just
man.
like that's what I'm gonna go for.
Waifu Breath of the Wild. I don't remember what it's
listen,
called.
Visually appealing and me buying it are two different things. I want that to be stated, all right? I can appreciate the visuals and not buy the game, all right?
That's true.
But I was kind of just, I kind of forgot about some of those games, and then the fact that they actually showed like a 3-4 minute, or maybe not 4 minutes, it's probably 2 to 3 minute gameplay of a PS5 game that we didn't know existed at that point. I thought that was a nice little touch. It was a pretty cool looking game, the Pathless. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be amazing or anything, but it looked pretty unique, and the boss battle concept and everything looked really cool. That was my highlight, and I was like, damn, like that's a unique looking game. That's something, again, I think you'd normally see on a Nintendo system, something a little more unique like that. But overall, I just thought it was a pretty good show considering PS4 or PS4 VR or PlayStation VR, that they actually had 40 minutes that was decently paced and had some interesting looking games. So I gave it like an 8 out of 10 as a show. As a state of play, it was a 9.5 if considering the past state of plays. It definitely was a standout for those, but I thought it was a pretty cool show. So anyone else have a different take?
Yeah, I was pretty much in the same area. I thought it was a decent show overall. I think they've kind of settled into their presentation now. You know, like you said, obviously where they got their inspiration from. You could argue right now they're doing it better. It was slick. They moved from game to game. There was gameplay. There's some CGI, which we don't mind that mix up. One game I thought looked awesome. I can't remember if it was the first time I saw it. It was
Taco Bell's new grilled cheese.
Aeon Must Die.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Video game.
Oh yeah.
Let me find that in the video
I
here.
thought that looked pretty stunning.
Was that like a brawler? Was that the one that's like a brawler?
It had like some cool, the action to it, and like the voice acting and stuff, and the cuts, the dialogue and everything, and I felt a bit like a souped up Power Rangers or something, or it was just pretty cool. We could all rag on Crash Bandicoot 4. I'll rag on Crash Bandicoot to the end of time. But graphically it looked really nice.
I don't think it would. I mean,
I got to give my take on that because I'm gonna probably surprise some people with my.
Yeah, that trailer doesn't look bad to me personally.
It actually won me over. The gameplay wise, actually looks.
You go back and watch it, and it looks all right. I'm not gonna rush out and buy it. It's fucking Crash Bandicoot. I've been here too long, man. Been here too long. I'll wait until it's out and then see how it goes. I thought overall I'd probably give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. Pretty much, it was what you'd like to see from the PS4 towards the end of its life. Is we've had some big games on the PS4 right now.
And I mean,
for me.
When I saw the Insane Trilogy gameplay of Terrell playing it, that's like the most I've watched of any one person play. I'm like, man, that just looks so frustrating. So like the jumping and everything just looks so like it's fighting you, like it's just the controls or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then when
the old ass design of it.
Remember, I was ripping the first time they showed Crash 4. I said something about the jumping looked wrong, but I don't know what it was, if that was like one of those bonus modes or something. But other than the walking animation's very purposely very limited. Like it looks like he's got like 4 animations for running, like, or maybe even 2, like his arms forward, back. But I actually, some of the level design and stuff, I was like, dang, this probably be the first Crash game I ever like actually own and play. I was not expecting that, so it might not turn out to be a great game, and I might pass it based on reviews or something. But I don't know, it's got some. It looks to me more. I wouldn't say it's not Tropical Freeze trying to be like anything like that, but after playing Yooka-Laylee and kind of being disappointed, I'm willing to give this game a chance to kind of fill that void that I thought Yooka-Laylee was going to fill. So I might pick this one up based on what I've seen.
You're gonna be sorely
I
disappointed.
probably will be, but like I say, if reviews come
I'll wait.
out and it's like, yeah, this is an average platformer at best, I'll skip it. But
It looks pretty average to me. I mean, Crash sold so well because that's all they had on PlayStation. PlayStation like very popular, and they wanted a Mario beater, and they still don't have. They never had one, but Crash was close enough. I mean, PlayStation. I think it was Frogger sold like 5 million copies on that thing. So Frogger sold like 5 million copies on PlayStation. It was like the Switch in a lot of ways, where trash sells.
ooh,
Man, they were hyping up. They were hyping up Pandemonium as like the next platform on the PlayStation
Pandemonium,
1.
like I like
Get the fuck
Pandemonium.
out of
It
my
ain't
face,
that.
man.
It ain't all that, but
Get the fuck
it got a lot of hype, and that's why Spyro. Come on, like I mean, if that's all you had, you're gonna have nostalgia for it, I guess.
yeah. The only part that doesn't look good is the 2D. There's a 2D section that just played, and it looks pretty stiff. But I don't know. Like I said, it's piqued my interest more than any other game in the series. Not that I've really paid that much attention.
It hasn't gone that far from what was Crash Bandicoot always was.
I guarantee you probably did.
They're all
3
saying
hours
play as
in.
Neocortex. And now you can shoot platforms and stuff. I don't give a fuck. You still play exactly the same.
Jesus.
It looks so slow.
Look at this.
Damn.
Now you can play. Now you can play as this crocodile dude who you always wanted to play as. Fuck off.
Jesus Christ. Man. I thought it looked all right.
And I'm a semi Crash fan. And
The way you said it didn't even sound suspect as fuck. Like you lying and shit.
I played the Crash games. I have a bunch of them, but
I have a controller
not,
with Crash
not that.
on it.
They're not it.
And then plus, speaking of Control, they teased the Control DLC final expansion that comes out at the end of this month, and that trailer got me pretty hyped. Probably the only other.
Yeah, that game's trash as well. Yeah, trash everything.
And it's called AWE, and for anybody who hasn't figured that out, Alan Wake. I'm not sure what the E part is. I don't know if it's experiment or expansion. I never played Alan Wake. I did watch a little bit of gameplay on it.
Now everybody act like they play Alan Wake. Oh, Alan Wake, yeah, I played that. Nobody bought that game. Stop lying.
I got it on 360. It wasn't horrendous, but it wasn't what they
I have it too, but I'm just
expected
saying,
it to
like,
be.
Yeah, it looked like I don't know. It looked
They're
like
gonna act like, oh my god, Alan Wake. Stop.
they've definitely come a long way in their, I don't know, not just their animation or whatever. Just the way the character moves and stuff was, and the flashlight mechanic looked a little wonky, like aiming it, watching a Let's Play of somebody playing it.
Yeah. I like Alan Wake. I thought it was inventive. It was a much needed, like, different shot in the arm for survival horror. Because it was all too samey. It was pretty different.
I liked the light element was pretty cool in there when it came out. So,
yeah.
Watches and stuff.
But yeah, there was the Pathless you were talking about.
Path of the Wild.
We had the it was some indie style games. There's a couple like really indie looking 2D platforming style games. Then
I can't figure this game out. I can't.
Spelunk 2. I'm not sure if that's. Oh, then there was the Waifu Breath of the Wild, which I still don't know what the hell the kind of game it is. Really just showing like cinematic angles of the combat instead of like what the player actually sees. I think. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know what kind of game this. Honestly, if anybody knows.
There is a Breath of the Wild clone coming out this month. That one looks better than me than this thing.
Does anybody know? Is this like a Monster Hunter style game? Like, is it a co-op?
I wasn't watching the stream live.
Oh, no, it's just an RPG, I think.
Yeah, that's the vibe I
RPG.
get from it.
Like an action RPG?
Action RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Autumn 2020. So, and the sad, I don't know if it's sad or maybe this is just pretty common. Like a system's not its last year ever, but the last year before the new system comes out, we've seen other consoles get some big games, but I'd be curious to compare like the last, what is it, 2005 or 2006 of what the GameCube's, PlayStation 2's lineups were, Xbox.
Nice.
Like, because to me, like, I know the third parties don't have any say in it, but I can't think of any other year, like, quote unquote, final year of getting this many big games.
Well, Sony does it all the time.
Sony's pretty normal.
God of War. I think it started probably with God of War on PlayStation.
God of War 2, I think, came out.
Yeah, God of War 2, and then
Shadow of the Colossus.
PS3 had a bunch of stuff at the end. So
yeah, usually Sony consoles don't really die until like maybe 2 years into the new console or something.
I think it's their model because they aren't making no money those first few years because they're usually losing money on hardware, and so they're like, we'll wait till we start making money before we start putting out these big games, and I think that's what their motto is.
What do you guys think of this, like, interesting looking, it looks like Astral Chain ish, but like 2D, 3D. It's a weird, like, I thought it was an auto runner.
I forgot about this game.
I don't remember this game at all.
Her animation.
As the main character itself.
Yeah, the animation of her in the 3D space looks terrible, but the 2D stuff looks pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I don't like.
Remind you of that game that disappeared.
I don't remember seeing this shit.
Remember the last story? I'm so taken by that game, man.
Oh, Last Story.
Don't remember it. Just the last story. It was a pixelated, side-scrolling game with this type of background and stuff. It looked absolutely stunning. And I think it's being development hell. It's just disappeared. I think also the director was a bit dodgy in some areas that you don't want people to be dodgy in. I think it has some issues.
So I mean, this
looked amazing.
This could be coming to fucking Switch for all we know. I have no idea.
Some of these are.
This Bug Snacks game looks fucking hilarious. I'd never play it, but actually, it's just so out there. It's just hard to even fathom how they came up with the concept, unless just on drugs. I don't know. But the game, the questing stuff kind of seems kind of maybe typical, but the game itself is
better than Grounded.
I don't. People seem to be liking Grounded, the beta or whatever's out. But anyway, Godfall I think was a bit underwhelming. I think most people felt that way.
Yeah, I was disappointed with it, but I was just so whatever about it. It just looked like a typical Unreal Engine.
Yeah, and it doesn't even look. I know it's a launch title, but it honestly, I would have never guessed it was a PS5 game if it wasn't told. I would have thought it was PS4. I didn't think it looked. Other than maybe it's a little more colorful.
They said it's early or whatever, blah blah blah.
Early,
I think just based off the gameplay, I saw, it was nothing.
Yeah, it should be looking. I mean, it looks very similar to God of War. It's not like artistically speaking, but even technically, it doesn't look much beyond if any. It should be running at 60 frames per second on PS5, pushing.
Looks very bland.
Very.
They clearly took the shield straight out of God of War as well, and they made that a staple part of the combat.
Like, there's no reason
you lose your shield. It's over there.
That this game shouldn't be running at 60 frames per second on the PS5. The way it looks, like it does not have that next gen look to it, but it's a little bit. I mean, I prefer Halo Infinite's art style to this by far, but technically, I mean, neither of these so-called next gen games are really wowing. But overall, though, it was way better than it deserved to be, I think, considering everything, and better than when's the last Nintendo Direct that really was good.
I was gonna say this is the best Nintendo Direct we had all year.
I mean, what is the last really good Nintendo Direct? I mean, was it 2019? Did they have one?
This year.
I want to say it was early 2019 when they announced Mario Maker 2, Astral Chain, Link's Awakening, or maybe I think they announced all three of those in the same one, and then they just nothing since, really.
It looked like there was a plan then. There doesn't seem like to be any plan.
And people want to use the coronavirus excuse, but Sony and Microsoft have new consoles coming out. Plus, look at all the PS4 games that have come out and are still coming out from third parties, from first party, plus new systems. I don't think Nintendo has an excuse, and other than their big game got delayed, but we never even knew it was coming out. Maybe they thought
the coronavirus.
maybe they put all their teams into trying to get Breath of Wild 2 out this year. I mean, we don't know because they have told us nothing.
I don't think they would do that because this is Mario's year. Next year is Zelda's year.
I know, but they don't seem to care about anniversaries much. So I don't know.
What are you talking about? We're definitely getting the Mario Anniversary Collection.
Yeah,
What are you talking
that
about?
would have been that wouldn't have been bad if it wasn't for the October games fucking a Wii U port. You know, like, so what? The November game's gonna be Mario remasters or remakes? Like, that would be, to me, that would just be, I don't even want to think about it, what that would be for me.
I think at this point, even if we would get something like Breath of the Wild 2 or Metroid, which is not going to happen, or Metroid Prime 4 this Christmas, it's still not going to save what has been this fucking year.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
give me Breath of the Wild 2.
That will save this year, but because they've had another huge game in Animal Crossing and then a good entry in the Mario Paper Mario series.
You said the year was already saved because of Animal Crossing Retro.
Yeah, I know that, but obviously, like,
So Retro just
think
can't be trusted, is what it
what I
sounds like.
said with that is I'm satisfied with Animal Crossing. I don't need anything else, which is still true. But objectively, come on, this year, like, well, what have we had? We had Animal Crossing and Paper Mario. Juice is the one who says, like, yeah, I need, like, a new game every fucking month. If we get, like, a big title in December, we had 3 games this year.
Every game, every
Don't
month.
forget
Man,
Clubhouse games, Retro. Clubhouse games.
He bought shit this year. What you want the man to do?
Don't forget about Fighter Pass 2.
Buy something.
Don't forget about Pokemon Sword and Shield Expansion 2.
Fighter Pass 2 comes with 1 fucking character.
Don't forget about No More Heroes 3. That's got a TBA or TBD. Same with
I think
Silksong.
Clubhouse games.
Yeah, but you don't care about No More Heroes.
Will outsell eventually any Metroid, any Star Fox, any F-Zero, any Wave Race, any 1080, any Pilot Wings.
But they just published
any
that game,
Excite
right?
Bike.
They didn't make it. They just published it.
I think that's where we are.
You want to hear something sad? Do you know that Mario Party, what is it? Super Mario Party has outsold Mario Party 1 through 5 combined?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I actually have the numbers up. If I didn't know if y'all wanted to do the numbers thing or not, but I do have all.
Yeah, let's go through the numbers.
So you want me to start from the bottom and go to the top, essentially?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are 2 new entries on the Switch million sell list. It's Clubhouse Games at 1.03 million, and then Xenoblade at 1.32 million. I'm glad to see Xenoblade on there, regardless. And Clubhouse, I mean, it's a harmless game.
Well, let's be real here, though. People are acting like that's a new game. They had a DS version of Clubhouse Games, so it's not like it's brand new out of nowhere game.
Well, it's also a game that literally is just a bunch of different games in it. Like it's a collection. It's nothing like there was nothing crazy about it when it was announced.
I know Robert was pushing for that as a new game, but
let him have these small victories.
Oh, I forgot. Damn, I'm sorry, Robert, if you're watching this. I forgot to let people know that his work schedules, he's not going to be on the podcast for a while. We don't know how long. Hopefully not. It's at least a month, I know for sure, maybe 2. So yeah, that sucks. We're going to have to, hopefully he can get back to a different schedule and get back on here. Possibly maybe do this on Sunday nights. I don't know. Something we'll discuss in the future, but.
Okay.
Sorry, Robert. Sorry I forgot about you till an hour in.
R.I.P. man. R.I.P. man.
So yeah, what?
Jesus Christ.
And Nintendo didn't update. They didn't give updates on some of the games. People are interested probably in getting current numbers on.
I think this is the first time they didn't do that.
Just Entitled.
Next game that sold pretty well considering it had a bunch of shortages in Japan was Ring Fit Adventure at 3.9 million. So that shit.
I mean, that's a legit game.
I think now that they're gonna get the shortages handled, that shit's probably gonna sell somewhere between like 5 and 6 million.
I think it'll end up over 10.
No ring fit.
Life cycle wise, it'll probably sell over 10. But I'm glad to see it up there. This is our last non-over 10 million game, which is New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe at 7.44 million.
That's already bad enough.
Okay. So
before you move on,
yeah, I gotta say something too.
I saw some other podcast, I won't mention, trying to act like, because how many? It sold like 5 million.
Just under 5. It was like 4 something, 4.5.
4 million on Wii U.
Yeah.
Trying to it was bundled.
It wasn't bundled.
What?
First of all,
Barely
it was
bundled.
How many do you think it sold on Wii U? It sold 13.5 million. Like,
how many Wii U's sold? That bundle of Wii U's probably didn't even hit.
That's what I'm saying. It probably didn't even hit 100,000. So stop trying to act like that moved millions.
I'm gonna just take a guess here. Did this podcast have a bunch of OJ in it? Like, was it?
What? No, man. We won't do that here. We don't do that.
Why didn't you say orange juice and make it way less obvious?
No, it wasn't. This is you could. It was on the radio waves.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So
how was that? That wasn't.
What I wanted to say was Nintendo has, a bunch of games so already between 10 plus million. How awesome I would feel about that if, they weren't relying on, I don't know how many of them are actually going to be ports, but, like here in New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe sold 7 million when instead of getting a new game 8 years later. Like, to me, it's like I would be just so happy for these sales if it wasn't for the other stuff Nintendo's doing, the other kind of, it's not, we talked about it a million times, the ports, plus they're full price, and it's like, they're really old. We're not getting sequels for a lot of these games. Nothing's been announced other than Bayonetta 3, as far as a legit sequel. And it's just like, yeah, it really does hurt. Like, I would be celebrating these sales along with all the others if it just doesn't feel right to be excited that they're hitting these sales because of some of the practices they're doing right now to get to either these sales or just some of the other stuff. But anyway, that's just my take.
I was gonna say, did you mention yet that most of these were like Nintendo Selects and shit?
No, I mean,
because people want Nintendo.
If we're gonna
Select,
get, when we get into, I'm put this in context real quick. The ones that are over 10 million of that list, only one.
Yeah, there's not.
I guess maybe it's like maybe 2 if you count. Yeah, I think it's just 2.
And they didn't give updates on like Tropical Freeze Switch version or even like Mario Maker 2. I don't know if that even got any. It's weird. They
would have showed it's not moving.
Yeah, usually if they don't give that many updates for it, I'm guessing it didn't change that much. All right, so anyways, first 10 million sellers, Splatoon 2 at 10.71 million. Next one, Super Mario Party at 10.94 million. Next one, this is the one I actively don't like. The
1-2 Switch?
Huh?
Is 1-2 Switch on there?
No.
Okay, good.
The one I'm actively pissed off about, I don't like the fact that's up here, or as high as it is Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee at 12.2 million. That's low key, because I don't like it. And then we go from 12 to 18 fucking million with Super Mario Odyssey at 18.06 million. And then above this, and this is probably going to piss the juice off, you have Pokemon Sword and Shield at 18.
At least it's a new game. At least it's new.
It's new.
We're all gonna boycott Pokemon Pokédex.
It doesn't have the Pokédex. I knew you motherfuckers were still gonna buy it. I knew it was gonna be Terrell's Game of the Year. Soon as it was announced.
Game of the Year, but I still like the game.
You put it your Game of the Year.
Huh?
I said it was your Game of the Year last year.
Yeah, that shit cost me a bet.
Gosh, you had to call me out like that.
Have they announced Ultra Sword and Ultra Shield for this year?
No,
No.
you're getting the expansions.
We got the
Yeah,
DLC.
but
That's they
I
haven't
still have
done
a
it.
feeling they're gonna drop Ultra Sword.
If they do, that's not getting
How much
bought.
is
I'm
the
not buying that.
expansions too? How much was
The expansion is $30. So we got half of it already, and then we get the other half in the fall at some
it?
point.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh damn!
Oh,
Look
look
at this guy.
You're part of the problem. You're part of the fucking
He had
problem.
Let's Go.
Put it
I
down.
hope that's for your kids. I hope.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm 90% sure it is.
You didn't tell your kids that you couldn't buy that because Pokemon milks their fan base, like you tried to stop them getting the Sims. Tim. They didn't care. They didn't care about EA's
Got nothing to say.
track record. They just want the damn game. But anyway, what's up?
Have they played Sims 4?
No.
No.
Don't give a shit.
The good news is the next game Juice co-signs heavy on. Breath of the Wild 18.6 million. Oh man.
That's starting to slow down, no?
But it was behind Odyssey for a while, so it's actually ahead of it.
Yeah.
It's kicked up a good bit.
Okay.
And then next up is when we start getting in near the 20 million territory, which is Smash Brothers Ultimate at 19.99 million.
I got no problem with that.
So low key, I'm thinking. So low key
Ultimate is ultimate, man.
Yeah, so low key, that's probably. I'm just saying that's 20 million right now.
The one thing that's more ultimate is our God. Let's get say
Okay,
it.
which is the
Say
next
it, what
game. Is Animal Crossing New Horizons at 22.40 million. And then everyone's favorite game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 26.74 million.
How many?
And that is the top of the motherfucking chart.
You know what's funny about this list is like, take away the games that have a history or beginnings on Wii U. So
Mario Kart,
Breath of the Wild. Splatoon 2 has a lot of Wii U in it with the original game. What else was there?
New Super Mario Brothers and New Super Mario Brothers, Xenoblade for obvious reasons, and
because even Mario Odyssey, they said they held it for the next system. That started as a Wii U game, but it's just curious, like how many are actual like Switch games without question.
Let's see. 1,
That are in the
2.
top?
Yeah.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Are we counting Odyssey or no?
I mean, I guarantee it began its life as a Wii U game, but it's pretty.
Probably did.
It pretty much feels like a Switch game.
Count it as a Switch game.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay, so we'll keep that one. All right, then fine. Animal Crossing, Smash, Pokemon, Odyssey. I guess it'd be Mario Party and Ring Fit, I think, are it. So that'd be about 7 or 8.
You could probably make an argument that Smash Ultimate's got a lot of Wii U DNA in it from Smash 4.
There are quite a few numbers that we didn't see. Like, did we see Luigi's Mansion?
No,
3?
they didn't. No
They didn't put it
Luigi's
on the list.
Mansion, no Mario Maker 2. It's like original new games. It's like, yeah, they probably didn't sell another 1 million, 2 million copies, but just give us the updated numbers.
If I had to take it, from what I remember, they're probably hovering around like the 5 or 6 million range, which is like in between Ring Fit and New Super Mario Bros.
And what was Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
That one was I think that one they stopped charting that one after like 2
I
million.
don't know why they don't just list all the ones over 1 million. I'm curious what the actual numbers are.
Well, for one, you can't even buy Xenoblade 2 physically normally anymore. I've noticed. I think I found that out a while
I saw it
ago.
in Walmart last time I was there.
I couldn't find it online, at least. I don't know. Maybe it is in still stores, but I couldn't find it online.
Yeah, as long as Nintendo can still sell it for $60, they'll be up in front. So
Yeah, we should.
But,
we should
and then obviously we got the console numbers, which is just that Switch is at, where is it?
It's number 2 now, right? On consoles sales, behind the Wii.
Yeah. But it's like but its current hardware sales are like 61.44 million. That's where it's at right now, which I think it's like 56 million of those are actual Switches, and then like the other 5 or so million are lights. What I see on here.
That seems. I thought the lights would have.
Oh, let me double check. Let me check.
But I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not mad. I'm not mad at these sales. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, Mario Kart 9.
Oh, I'm lying. The Switch Lite's at 8.81
All right.
million. Okay.
Mario Kart 9 would have sold just as much as Mario Kart 8 if it would have been out in, that first year, maybe even the second year. So, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, and I'm part of the problem since I bought the game stuff. I wasn't really thinking about the impact. And
It was way early.
I just kind of thought it'd sell 5 million copies and lead until the next game, but it just took off. But it's just
more than that.
I mean, you look at the sales and it's like in this day and age, exclusive games like single player games and stuff, they don't sell like nothing else is really selling. I mean, Sony's some of their first party single player games eventually get 10, 15 million, but we all know they get huge price drops. Usually it's down to 40 within the first 6 months, and then it's 20. And Uncharted 4, I don't care what anybody says, that bundle, I'd say half of Uncharted 4's sales are from the bundle, because I know at least 3 people.
In regards to Sony's numbers, they probably always add up the PlayStation 2, 3, and 4 versions.
No.
You bitch. You dirty bitch.
Actually, the PS4 version of Last of Us, I think, outsold the PS3 version. But again, that game it came out at 50, but it was quickly 40, 30, and then it's been 20 for a couple years now. And it's 10. It was 10 during Black Friday.
Let's see.
So it's just, I mean, I'm glad.
Last of Us remasters at almost 12.
A Nintendo, multi-million seller is way different than anybody else's because it's still at $50, $60.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You might see it for 45 for one day or something, or a few games.
I think to give Sony some credit. I mean, this generation, I was always the first one to chew out the attachment rate of some Sony games and exclusive games that just didn't sell anywhere near what their consoles goal base was. Now, they're still not there with the PS4. This generation, Sony has some of the biggest games have sold.
Yeah, their
really,
first-party games have sold a lot.
Really well this generation for the first time on a PS4 they've done.
This is not the first time the
better.
games got price cuts, so.
Because I wanted to add to
completely use that as, I guess an excuse to say why they're selling so much now, because their first-party games have always gotten quick price drops and whatnot. So obviously this generation is different.
And
to add to that,
go ahead.
Also, PlayStation, they have $60 games and they sell them for 20, and Nintendo has $20 games and sells them for 60.
That's true. And I mean, they still hit before the price drops. Last of Us did 3 million, I think, in its first week or whatever. Last of Us Part 2. I mean, so they're doing.
It's at 4 million.
They're doing big numbers at the full price and stuff. I know, but to keep the
Neil Druckmann, that's the only reason.
I think they definitely keep sale. The sales continue because of the price drop. Maybe Sony is completely fine with that, and I don't know if they'd ever tried not doing a price drop on a game and seeing what happens. But Nintendo definitely I think it's good with Nintendo because that it's not getting a price drop. So why wait to buy it? If you want a game, you might as well just buy it now. And if you ever had to sell it or something, it's going to be 60, so you probably get $40, $45 back for it if you really had to, if you had to sell it or something. Like I sold 2 Switch games now, Mario Tennis Aces and Yoshi's Crafted World, and I got $45 for both of them. So that was used. So I mean, there's some good to that. Now, if I tried to sell Horizon Zero Dawn that I paid $40 for, I'd be shocked if I could get $10 for it, because I believe you can get it for $20. So, but it's impressive, that Nintendo's games are selling like this. I don't know, maybe it's a hipster in me. I know that a lot of the sales are like my neighbor. He was talking about he had an Xbox. He's got a couple young kids, and I'm like, he's like, oh, I don't know, I'm thinking about getting the Switch. I was like, oh yeah, get that, and you can get, he told me, he's like, yeah, I took your advice. I bought the Switch. I got Mario Kart 8. I got, what other one? I don't know if it's Splatoon and I was like, yeah, you should get Zelda for yourself or something. But it's like, you know, I know a lot of people said that their kids got the Switch and they're playing Mario Kart, and you know that a lot of sales are people who weren't really Nintendo fans and are just kind of on the hype train. But if they're enjoying games, you know, I'm not gonna sit there and take their joy from them. But it feels like, to me, it's almost like hollow calories. You know, like I know a lot of these sales are just are like the Wii crowd, where it's, you know, they're not gonna.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the repeat of the Wii generation.
They're not gonna be there if Nintendo's next system isn't hugely popular, and even if there's great games, they're gonna be gone. You know, so I guess that's part of the reason why I just don't get as excited for these sales.
You don't like my therapy session right now, because that's what people were like. Oh, that's the point I was trying to make, is that, yeah, this is all great now, wonderful, but these people aren't going to be loyal people. Like a lot of the Animal Crossing fans, like they don't even play games, yet alone like Animal Crossing. So a lot of them, I know a lot of people who are like, oh, Animal Crossing, I don't really play games, but that looks like fun. I want to get that. I'm like, oh, and it happens a lot. But are those people going to show up for your next console, especially if you don't sell well out the gate like you did with Switch? Oh, then you're going to lean back on your core fans.
It's like the Wii Fit thing. How many people bought Wii Fit, and Nintendo thought Wii Fit U would help propel the Wii U? No. And Visor Grunt said an interesting thing in the chat. He's worried, or he's thinking Nintendo will learn the wrong lessons from the great Switch sales.
Yeah, that's my worry.
I always thought, this is like what he said. I agree. Like, this is why I always used to say Animal Crossing is a true system seller, because you have millions and millions and millions of people who don't really play games, but they will buy Animal Crossing. That's what you saw with the 3DS. And I said it from the start, and everybody called me like, yeah, Animal Crossing is like a little bitch game. I said, watch Nintendo. If they would drop, before they were announced, if they would drop Animal Crossing on the Switch, it will outsell Smash. And people were laughing. Well, who's laughing now? You know, like it was obvious it was going to happen, because
you really want this praise,
Animal
don't you?
Crossing.
He wants the attention.
I do. I want to be fucking acknowledged, because now you have all these people, you know, drinking their orange juice, for example, like, you know, talking about, of course, sells all of this. Bitch, nobody used to say that in the past.
Because New Leaf,
now people say it because shit sells.
New Leaf was a hit, but I want to say that was at like 12 million the last time we looked.
Yeah, it was something like 10 or 12 million. But because a lot of people that used to be already Animal Crossing fans were like, Robert, you know, I'm not going to play on this tiny screen, this and that. They want to want a 3DS and shit. But it was obvious that on the Switch, this thing was going to fucking go insane, and it did.
And just to piggyback on that, my ex-girlfriend bought a DS for Nintendogs, and Animal Crossing was the next game she bought, and she played it every frickin' night, and I had no idea what the hell she was doing. Like what is this game? And then she got Super Princess Peach, which is like super easy, you know, baby's first platformer game.
Certifiable doggy trash.
And what something else, and that, you know, so I, of course, she had the Brain Age game, you know, just the very casual games. And I think the Switch is kind of in that same, because the DS is their biggest selling system, and it had a lot of those casual friendly non-gamers were sitting there carrying a DS around because it had all these, you know, non-game games, you know, like the games that they always look down upon, or gamers, the types of games they look down at gamers, you know, for weren't the games they were buying, and the Switch is getting a lot of that. But it's nice to see like Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I was gonna say
for Sakurai.
I like half agree with that. Like I do agree that it is falling into that Wii trope, but I don't think it's as bad as the Wii got, where like half of the games.
The Wii up in there.
Say what?
I'll be hating on the Wii up in there.
No. When I say half, I mean half as bad as the Wii got, in the sense of like the shovelware taking over the whole system.
And the grandmas buying. I don't see grandmas buying the Switch.
I feel like the Switch has a little bit, at least a better balance of like hardcore gamers and like casuals. Now, granted, it's still a lot of casuals, but like
it's not Wii's fault that stuff is what.
I'm not blaming the Wii. I'm just an example.
A lot of people, the shovelware took over. No, there's a ton of core games.
I
on
never
the Wii.
owned a single shovelware
People
game.
didn't pay attention to those because a lot of people who had a Wii was playing little rinky-dink, swingy tap games. That was the problem.
The problem was that the core games got buried a lot,
Yeah.
and like those were the games that didn't sell or didn't sell as well as they could have been.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, oh, you're on 100 million selling console, why are you only selling like 500,000 or some shit? And I'm like, yeah, that's because I think the notoriety of some of those games kind of got buried under like any casual level game, and because of the audio, I don't feel like it's that bad on the Switch though. In that sense, like the Switch at least seems to have a better balance of core gamers. But go ahead.
Got to remember, I think we got to give a bit more credit as well to what Breath of the Wild achieved, in terms of bringing in new gamers.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild brought in a lot of core gamers.
Well, it also brought in a lot of casual gamers as well, because I know so many women who have bought Nintendo Switch consoles just for Breath of the Wild, and that was going back to 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they've gone all Animal Crossing hype as well, because Animal Crossing is that type of game. If you actually think about Breath of the Wild as a game, a core game in itself, it could be quite daunting. But something Breath of the Wild done appealed greatly to casual gamers, to people who heavily and in that Nintendo bubble, in that gaming bubble. Just as much that game done just as much, I would argue. Well, no, actually, no, I'm not going to go there because we sports and stuff like that was a different kettle of fish. In terms of maybe like that brain training, in terms of the 10 dogs and stuff like that, pulled in that many people, I think, done it with a core game. And this is why this is a rare selling case for this Zelda. So it's not just that the fact that it's, you know, for me, the best game ever made now. It's also the fact that it's managed to bring in completely brand new Zelda fans, all the people who have never played the Zelda game before, and they bought a Switch for it.
And do you guys see that that video
Wait,
where the guy did the stasis on the Bokoblin's steak as he's about to eat it, and then threw a bomb,
throws the bomb, yeah,
and then it blows back. You know, it was just like people still
really?
coming up with new stuff.
I didn't even see that. Okay.
Yeah, it like killed the Bokoblin, and then the steak went flying, and he went and picked it up. And it was just like, who would even thought to try
like
that?
he like threw like 3 boomerangs around himself, and the boomerangs were making almost like a Triforce like symbol around him, and he was just like a whirlwind of boomerangs.
Oh yeah, I've seen somebody where he threw like, I want to say like 10 boomerangs, and then kept running, so they just circled them, and they took out a bunch of enemies. Like, just,
yeah.
And it's good to
Like
see.
all this
I was just gonna say it's good to see like a Zelda game hit monumental sales like that. When you look at Skyward Sword come out and did what, 3 million on 100 million install base, and it was partly when it came out, and then the fact that people didn't want the Wii Motion
the motion
stuff, and it was Wii Motion Plus required to play it, if I recall. Or was it required or just?
Yeah, I think it was required.
I feel like it was required.
Yeah.
I just feel like it was too much of a hurdle. Not hurdle. What's the word I'm looking for? For people to purchase, to blocking them from wanting to play the game. I don't know what the phrase I'm looking for, but that's a game I would have loved to see on the Wii U. You want to talk about bringing a previous gen game to the next system? Skyward Sword, because you could use the Wii remote on the Wii U, put that game in HD, you know, streamline some of the loading, you know, going into different areas, and that's a game that deserved
out over Twilight Princess.
Yeah, that game that deserved a second chance, because it was a really, overall, I mean, I enjoyed the game. I mean, it had some flaws, some backtracking stuff that, you know, kind of hurt it, and that stupid glitch where every time you start the game up, every rupee you pick up or every item you pick up, it'd have to stop and re-say what it was instead of just.
That was the worst.
And it's just like, you know.
I don't remember that.
Yes.
Oh yeah. How you picked up?
Is that the one that they sent the patch for?
No, that was
download that.
That was if you took a certain path. I want to say it was in the area where you had to do like 3 things, and if you did them in a particular order, it messed up your save file. But
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, that's when you bring a game and give it a second chance. Even though 3 million, it's not like terrible sales, but for a Zelda game on the install base, that was pretty embarrassing, I think. And they
The
test.
problem with Skyward Sword though is that you can't play it in handheld mode.
Yeah. So I mean, on the gamepad, they couldn't really did anything there, I guess. So maybe that's why they didn't. But I don't know. Let's just real quick. Let's get into this a little bit because Pikmin 3. We joked about it. There's rumors about it. Clocked it. I asked you what the line Nintendo would have to cross for you to for Wii U ports. Once they cross this line, then that would be it. And and they did it. I did not think they would. I didn't believe the leaks and the rumors. I didn't think that Pikmin 3 was a good fit in the fact that, I mean, it's just been so long and it's not like this big mainstream type game. I don't know what kind of sales they're expecting from Pikmin 3 Deluxe 7 years later. It's never been a huge seller, so maybe they're trying to make it a huge seller. I just don't get Pikmin 3 in general as a Wii U or as a port to Switch for an October release in 2020. I don't get it on so many levels. And they didn't they didn't even add online to the bingo battle shit. Like that would have been a perfect opportunity to really go that extra mile, and it could have, for me, that could have been enough for me where I'm like, you know what, that alone almost makes it worth picking up, because I hear how good the bingo battle was. I never got to play it with anybody because it was split screen, and no one wanted to play that stuff. No one I knew wanted to play that, sitting on a couch. So it just feels like
it's like you got like friends coming over, like, yeah, we're gonna play like Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty. You show them fucking Pikmin.
I just want to play Mario Kart. Everybody just wanted to play Mario Kart. Mario Kart or Smash. That's all everybody wanted to play.
Those are like Nintendo's like main multiplayer experiences that everyone knows.
So I just feel like
Pikmin. Even if you're not a gamer, it's like, yo, let's go get on Mario Kart.
Game either.
No,
it's easy to explain Mario Kart. It's a bit harder to explain Pikmin.
Yeah.
And how's it gonna play? They added lock-on. How's that gonna work? They couldn't even show us how the new mechanic works.
Wait there. Can someone explain the lock-on to me? Because there was lock-on in the Wii U version. So
there was lock-on on the Wii U version.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Are they just making it easier or what?
I don't know. Some of the defendos were saying that's a new mechanic added to the game.
It's not. It's in Wii U version. That's what you did when you wanted to make them charge. You can make them charge at an enemy like that. You lock on to the enemy.
I don't know what they're changing.
I think that from what I heard, they're adding prequel stuff and then epilogue.
No, I mean in terms of the lock-on. So they mentioned lock-ons being
unless they're making it
making charge. What's that?
I don't really know what you could really change. Actually, you know what?
I'm not just being. I'm not going to come at this from a graphics whore perspective. This is just the game's 7 years old, and the Switch is capable of a decent amount more than Wii U, and they don't even take the time to do anything like. I mean, the beautiful looking game zoomed out, but some of the closer up stuff, like some of the ground textures, it's like you couldn't even just make it a higher res version of the. I mean, you're bumping the game up to 1080. You couldn't even go that little bit. And then some of the character, like their helmets have like obvious lack of geometry, where it's got like flat spots. It's like you couldn't just go touch it up a little. You couldn't do anything. It's just the straight.
Can I just answer also TriLink as well? I don't know if he's joking or not, but just this is a direction we could roll in as well, where you see a lot of arguments saying Nintendo they're probably recouping their their losses and their investments or whatever from the Wii U. And I posted on Twitter saying Nintendo themselves, where they said Breath of the Wild was the most expensive game Nintendo has ever made. Mm-hmm. Expensive game they have ever made. And they needed to sell 2 million copies of Breath of the Wild in order to bring you Nintendo's most expensive game ever. They had to sell 2 million copies of Breath of the Wild. Look at Breath of the Wild sales now, right? Even if we look at something like Pikmin 3, look at Pikmin 3 and then compare it to the scope of Breath of the Wild and the development and all of that. trust me, they made their money back, development-wise, investment-wise, on those games. And also, what they said with Breath of the Wild is that they had built an engine that they wanted to reuse, physics, all this stuff. And I think we're starting to see some of it. We might have seen some of it with Luigi's Mansion. We're definitely going to see it with Breath of the Wild 2 and all this stuff. They're not strong for money. They weren't that hard done by on the Wii U. Even though they didn't sell as much as they wanted to sell, they weren't poor.
It was a profitable console still.
And some of those Wii U games, like we've always said, install base wise compared to what they sold, fuck hell, man, they made some money.
I guarantee you they didn't lose any of these Wii U ports. They didn't lose money because they all sold over 1 million copies. If not, 1 to 5 million. Mario Kart 8 obviously was 8 something. And yeah, that's just such a lame excuse because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe by itself, I guarantee you, has recouped any losses from game development from Wii U by itself.
All by itself.
So anybody watching the stream, I paused this video just to explain what I was talking about. And somebody said they don't even think it's running in 1080 because of all the jaggies. I mean, you got... I know it's not all about that, but you're putting it on a new system. You're charging full price. Yeah, you added some new content and stuff. You couldn't clean up any of this? Like, there's jaggies everywhere. It's just like, do a little bit more. I'm like, if you're going to charge full price, it might not even have to go into the game and do anything. It's probably just a graphical setting or something they could have activated. I don't know. It just doesn't even look anything beyond the Wii U version. Like, I expect to see Pikmin and if it's in 1080 to wow because of how ever since the GameCube game came out, it's always been a wow. I mean, look at this. Like, it's probably even going to look worse at 1080. Than the Wii U version. I mean, I don't know, but this is a YouTube video. It's just not, it doesn't look any better. And it's just, to me, that's just another fucking slap in the face to bringing this game in.
The thing that makes me so mad, and it really gets me pissed, is when you see, like, non-Pikmin fans in the comment section saying that, like, this pity shit, but they're actually happy for you. I'm like, Pikmin fans finally got what they wanted after years. Like, bitch, it's a 7-year-old port. Nobody's happy with this. And then you see the trailer. It's like, last time I saw that, like 500k views, like all positive, and I'm like, fuck, this fucking thing is gonna sell. It's gonna sell. Like, you just know it's gonna sell.
It's got 1.2 million views, only 3,000 downvotes, 77,000 upvotes.
Yeah, and
7 years.
I looked it up because I wanted to be right about it. Pikmin 1 on GameCube sold 1.2 million copies. Pikmin 2 on GameCube sold 1.2 million copies. Pikmin original with new play control on Wii sold 550,000 copies. Pikmin 2 sold 650,000 roughly copies. This is not a big franchise. This is not a system-selling franchise. This is Miyamoto's baby, and I love that baby. But it's just like he's been making sequels for, without having monstrous sales. So why can't we get another sequel? Especially on a console like the Wii U that didn't have a huge install base, and the game still sold, guess what? 1.2 million copies on the Wii U. So it's the same fan base. Basically, is buying these games,
and they're probably gonna sell 1 to 2 million on Switch.
And the worst part is because Juice said, "Look at these graphics, look at these textures." It's like, damn it! Like, give me the exact same fucking graphics as you're seeing now, but make it Pikmin 4 in a new game. I would buy it. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about that stuff.
Not
but
this.
But he has a point. If you're gonna make a port and charge $60 for it,
yeah, for sure,
damn game. Yeah, you added some new stuff. That's DLC.
I mean, this has to be the least they've done from a visual standpoint for a port from Nintendo from Wii U to Switch, and then content wise, I mean, there was a bunch of DLC for the battle modes or whatever they were called. And I don't think a lot of people bought the individual DLC. That stuff, to me, is like, that's like free to them to add. That's not like it cost them anything to add DLC they had already had made for the Wii U version and just throw that in there. And then whatever they're adding to the story and stuff, I'm guaranteed it's not going to be very long.
Not adding that much shit.
But I don't know. For me, it's just very lazy looking to me. I mean, I don't know what went into it, but it just feels very lazy. Like, we got to have something. What's another Wii U game? Instead of bringing a game that was never been in HD from the Wii or something, like we did my Wii collection there, and we've always talked about the Metroid Prime collection and stuff, but there's got to be something that you could at least have that selling point. Hey, this game's never been in HD before. Kirby's Epic Yarn, like in HD, like fully, like not just in 1080 at the original settings, but take full advantage. Be a beautiful looking game, something like that. I don't know.
There's a good example though. Crystal Chronicles, like I fucking love that game. Is going to come out. They upgraded the visuals. They added new levels, new modes. They actually made an online cross-platform from your Switch to fucking like Apple phones and shit. Like, it's not that hard to just make the bingo shit online. It's not that hard.
And I try, like he's saying.
I think also.
You think Square went through some crazy development cycle to add this stuff? No.
I think also as well, people like to. I think we all need. They seem to like, well, at least with the Switch, it's an excuse to say, okay, this game didn't sell that much on that previous console. I understand that they want to re-release it and port it to the next console. It makes business sense. And I don't know why this is accepted with the Nintendo Switch. Can you imagine now, like with the PlayStation 5, like, yeah, Bloodborne, we already sold 2 million copies. We're gonna release it again. And then I can imagine people accepting it, just saying, "Oh, if it's in 4K, that's fine. It's all fine and dandy." When I'll be like, "I want fucking Bloodborne 2, man." I'm saying I played the Old Hunters DLC. I don't want to all bundle it. I've already played that shit. Give me fucking Bloodborne 2. But like, I can imagine people, being happy with it. It's just a crazy mindset for someone like us as gamers to say, I understand it from a business point of view why they would re-release that game.
It makes business sense is not an excuse. Like, a lot of terrible practice will make good business sense. That doesn't make them a good idea. Business sense is not helping you as a gamer. You're like, if you
If we're talking from a gamer's perspective, okay, I agree. How
should we?
No, that's the way you.
All I was going to say is how should we?
Yeah. No, I'm saying as a consumer, that's the way you're supposed to think. So I can understand the rage behind it. I don't feel like it's a bad thing to ask for to want ports of those games. Realistically, I don't think that's a bad thing in itself. The way it's being handled currently, to me, is the problem. Not necessarily.
Well, that's another thing that we need to add is that it's not so much this is the territory of it's not so much that we're getting the ports,
right?
Is that we're not getting new entries in these series.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right now because of these ports.
I completely understand
Whereas I said I don't give a shit about Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition coming. I fucking love that game. But before that, we got Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We got Xenoblade Chronicles, Torna, the Golden Country. 2 brand new games. Yeah, so fine. We got they decided to port Hyrule Warriors, but they gave us Fire Emblem Warriors. What's there to complain about that? I don't expect a sequel to Hyrule Warriors. It's not something I would expect a sequel to. If it happened, nice. But still, at least they're trying to do another Warriors game, and we get something new.
Right.
It's not some. We all agree it's not the ports. It's just the fact that at this moment in time with this Nintendo,
how the ports are treated.
These ports
are being
they might make business sense because they're quick and easy, and they can make more money off what they consider to be great games that they consider didn't sell that well, even though they didn't lose money on them. They made money on them, if you want to talk about it from a business perspective. But for us as gamers, it makes no fucking
because the reality is, as consumers, we have no reason to care about the business side of it. The only concern as a gamer you have is getting the games you want to play, and if you're not getting the games you want to play, then that's the company's fault.
But then even from the business perspective, it's not that they've lost money. They haven't lost money. We know they haven't lost money because we know what their most expensive made was and what they need to sell. We know they haven't lost money. But what we're pissed off about is that it's clear that they're re-releasing them because it's easy, quick money for them off a console that's currently selling like there's no fucking tomorrow.
It's short-term thinking.
They
Is what it is.
And the
money for them.
And the problem with the problem that makes it so bad for Pikmin is that it's easy and fast. Okay, but like you had 7 years, but then not only did you have 7 years, and I'm gonna say this fucking again. They weren't making a new Pikmin 7 fucking years ago, and they won't be making a new Pikmin for years to come now because they're releasing this one now. Because what? They're still making like money of the previous like the fucking select shit, and now they can sell it full. You think if they can sell Pikmin 3 full price again, that they're gonna be like, better for next year, got Pikmin 4 ready? No, fuck no, they don't care. They didn't even start that shit yet.
I'm gonna disagree with that because that would argue that's implying that every time I put out a port, that automatically means you're not getting a new game. I don't believe that.
That has been factually so for like 30 years.
Actually, Xenoblade is a good example of that not being true, where we got a new game and a port, and within a year.
You get the port out.
Well, first of all,
it
wasn't a last-gen game either. It was 2 generations ago.
Yeah,
battle is against Terrell there. It's just the fact that with the Nintendo that we have now, where it's been factual with every single, for the most part, Wii U port that they've released from first-party Nintendo. We haven't seen a sequel. We haven't had we had a port before we got a new 2D Mario. We had a port before we got a new Mario Kart. We had a port before we got a new Donkey Kong. We've had a port before we got a new Pikmin. We've had a port before we had a new Captain Toad. It's just literally now in this zone where we are now with the Nintendo that we are now. All we can base it off is the fact that they have released these games, and for these particular games, we have not seen or even heard of a new game coming. And I used the old Wind Waker thing when I said, even though they ported Wind Waker, we knew they were making Breath of the Wild, and they said themselves, sorry, Breath of the Wild is taking for fucking ever to make. Is Wind Waker in the time being, but we knew a new Zelda was coming. We don't know a new Pikmin is coming. We don't know a new Donkey Kong is coming. We don't know a new Mario Kart is coming. We don't know a new 2D Mario is coming, and so forth.
Here's the other.
Just where we are.
With Xenoblade, I think they did it twice. They ported the same game twice.
So, did we really need a port of Pokken Tournament? Do we really need these ports?
Here's the other thing. People say it's recouping the losses or whatever, which this false because we've already said, unless we don't have actual numbers, but it's not like they lost. Maybe in general, some of the Wii U overall, the R&D or something into the gamepad or something, maybe they lost money there. But what that tells me is you're saying that you don't think a sequel would help recoup the money. You don't think Mario Kart 9 selling 27 million would help recoup the money of Mario Kart 8?
Look at Odyssey. Look at Animal Crossing.
Yeah, look at what Smash Ultimate did.
They went platinum. That's why they went platinum. You know what I mean?
Animal Crossing. Those are your top selling games. They're new experiences.
It's like Pikmin 4 should help recover the losses of Pikmin 3 only selling 1.2 million copies.
And it's exactly like what Clock had said. There was a nice demonstration about Breath of the Wild, how they needed to sell 2 million just to win all that money back, just in perspective, and they sold in the end, what was it, like 18 million now and shit, It's like we said, just Mario alone, for the fucking Wii U port of New Super Mario Brothers, recuperated all the money Nintendo lost in the last 20 fucking years. They don't need it for the money.
Smash Brothers for Wii U sold what, 4 or 5 million copies?
No. Yeah, for Wii U, yeah.
You could have. I mean, on 3DS it sold decent, so it probably come.
I think Breath of the Wild sold 2 million.
But the point is,
how many copies of Breath of the Wild? So I think it was about 2 million. So we made this money back on that failed ass console.
Yeah, just made the money back in the Wii U. But Smash Brothers for Wii U sells 5 million copies. And if they ported that, it probably would have sold 15, 20 million like Smash Ultimate, but they went the extra mile, and yeah, it's based on the Wii U game engine, but they added a lot to it, a lot of new characters, a lot of returning characters. They've decently improved the visuals. They put a lot of work into that game, and is rewarded with what 18, 19 million, whatever it's at now, like high selling individual Smash game.
It's almost at 20, yeah.
And it's like
19,
I feel like the argument that ports are there to recoup the costs, I think there's enough evidence to show that sequels to these games sell even more, other than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Maker 2 was at what, 5 million or whatever. Animal Crossing, yeah, there hasn't been a console Animal Crossing, but it outsold New Leaf versus just porting New Leaf to the Switch. Like these new entries are doing really well. So there's evidence showing that the new entries sell really well. So I don't know why, from a business standpoint, why you don't just, unless they, like I said, they have teams doing other things, and we know that the Breath of the Wild team was huge and stuff. And
use the same engine like with Pikmin 3. Like we said, if you want to save money, just use that Pikmin 3 engine, build a brand new game around it. It's other ways to save money instead of just Splatoon done it.
Yeah, Splatoon 2 greatly outsold Splatoon 1, has most of, if not all of Splatoon 1 in it now with the old, and it's like that's a winning formula too. So and like we all said,
we all benefit from that.
And the reason they don't do the other way around, because you're not going to port Splatoon 1 after Splatoon 2. It makes no sense. For that game specifically, you could bring Tropical Freeze port after a new Tropical Freeze, I guess. And it'd be like a new game for a lot of people. But I don't know, it just feels like you're not rewarding your loyal fans, the Wii U fans, the Nintendo fans, the longtime fans. You're not really giving us enough of the new stuff. And like this year alone, there's 4 old games.
I think that would have helped Tropical Freeze more, maybe. If then you released a brand new game, that game would be selling. And it was like, okay, now let's release Tropical Freeze, but now we release it at $30 or $40 or whatever, at that budget price, because we know it's a port, and we're just trying to get that extra Donkey Kong Country Tropical Sales Freeze exposure.
Or maybe also throw returns in there.
Yeah, and do the double pack. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm very much of the opinion that Donkey Kong Country Returns is like the worst Switch port in my opinion. Just the way it was handled and everything, personally. That's because there was so much more you could have done with that one, and I felt like that one was very.
I think it's not like there's a bunch of like Hyrule Warriors. They added the 3DS content and stuff. I mean, that one to me has always been the best one as far as.
To me, that's a realistic. I look at that as more of a Koei Tecmo issue.
Yeah, that's not really a Nintendo game per se.
Koei Tecmo does it a lot with their Warrior
but like
games.
Captain Toad, completely unnecessary. They could have had a sequel, I'm guessing, in under a year. I mean, using the same game engine.
It took them a year to make, or like 9 months or a year.
Yeah, they made the original game in a small span of time. You can't make a sequel. But then we've also gotten a few sequels that didn't quite live up to what they should have been, like Kirby Star Allies and Yoshi, for example, didn't quite live up to what they. I mean, Kirby has always had kind of a similar. I won't say it's a problem, but similar. They haven't really expanded the Kirby formula. But after Woolly World, you expected a top tier, challenging platformer with the next Yoshi game, and they didn't do that. And it's like, I guess I really wouldn't have cared as much about the some of the blurriness and that, and if it had good music and it had some better like challenge levels, like the last few levels were actually challenging and it was fun, but you had to play through a lot of monotonous, boring level design and listen to this terrible music, and it's like, so there's been examples of sequels that haven't really.
And you had to play each level like 4 fucking times.
Yeah, it's like so that's an example of you made a new game, but it's a very, I don't know if about lazy is the right word, but it's very safe and very uninspired. So in that case, would a Woolly World port been better than a bad or mediocre new game, I guess that would be another topic for another day, I guess. But yeah, we're at the we made it through the podcast. The storm didn't kick the power out, so that's cool. And it's good discussion, and I'm sure we'll have it again when they announce 3D World Deluxe for the big holiday game. November. What's before Black Friday? What's the date? They usually have a game if it's not a Pokemon.
November 19th or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah,
either that.
November, December.
Honestly, I changed the title of the podcast, but honestly, I feel at this point the best case scenario is Super Mario 64 remake. I honestly think that's the best case scenario for the Switch's holiday.
Yep. That's what I would,
Switch.
A full-on remake Super Mario 64. You don't need all those other ones. Just Super Mario 64.
Because Super Mario
Just Sunshine.
3D
Mario
Odyssey World remake.
Sunshine and Mario 64 remakes. I mean, I get, Muhammad, yeah, Odyssey 2 would be great. I just don't feel it at this point that's happening.
Oh, I'd rather have Odyssey 2.
Yeah, I'd rather have Odyssey 2, but I'm telling you what I feel is the best case scenario. But I kind of feel like it's going to be like 3D World Deluxe and some remasters, not remakes, some minor improvements. Yeah, Wii Fit U Deluxe port come in November 2020. Nintendo Land. They don't even try to make it work with the gamepad. It just puts it up on the screen like split screen, so you can see everything. And it ruins, the Luigi game, Luigi's Mansion game.
Wii Sports Club Deluxe, yo.
Oh, jeez. So it's just one of those things, man. It's like I get why that people don't care. And it's like, I don't care that they're there because I don't have to buy them, but there's nothing, other than my backlog, and I guess Paper Mario would be the only other option for me because I'm definitely not getting into Animal Crossing anytime soon. So it just feels weird. I guess, like I said in Trail Stream, I'm not mad. I'm just sad that I'm not excited. There's nothing down the pipeline that I can be excited about buying for my Switch, and
it's just an overall accumulation of just the 3 years of Nintendo Switch, and there's been some great highs, some really good highs, but you just can't shake the lows, which just continue, whether it's Switch Online, whether it's ports from Nintendo or third parties, and just bad game prices. It's just accumulation of, this is one of the most successful consoles of all time, and a lot of us are like, what the fudgicles, man.
Well, just think about the worst year in the Wii U's life, 2013. That huge drought. Still got Wonderful 101, Pikmin 3, and 3D World that year. And Donkey Kong got pushed just for timing-wise. It was done. Tropical Freeze would have been out. But still, 3, people seem to really like to fondly look back at. Yeah, it didn't have an Animal Crossing, didn't have a Smash Ultimate. But, with 2018 and 2020 now, it's like you didn't even outdo like one of the worst years on the Wii U, really. Because they also got Wind Waker HD and got, Sonic Lost World, the third-party exclusive. But
still got notable third-party games, like even Rayman and
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed
had the new games that year, the new Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Batman, Splinter Cell.
So we're getting none of the.
So it is.
And Need for Speed as well.
Yeah, it's just interesting when you think about it in those terms. That this, unless Doom Eternal makes it out this year, and what
Find that version of them.
What else is there that's a third-party game? We had Outer Worlds, but it was a bad port. I don't know if they fixed it.
They haven't fixed it. I just heard they've talked about working on a patch. That's all I've heard.
So really, objectively, I think Wii U 2013 might have been a better year than Switch 2020 overall, but that's debatable for sure. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and then we had so much to talk about. I didn't keep up with the chat like I wanted to. I was trying to make that a goal to read off people's live chat, but we just had a lot to talk about. Even I feel like we talk more with 5 of us versus 6. I feel like we go longer than because when Trell was gone the week before, I feel like we went over 2 hours. It's weird. You figured you'd go quicker with less people, but.
Started a little bit late, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, like 4 minutes. But yeah, appreciate everybody for tuning in each week, and love to see the live chat so active. And yeah, so if you watch this on the replay, I haven't been getting as many comments on the re-upload, but anyway, appreciate it. We do get the every week the hot nude girls blah 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 link. It's been popping up for me. I don't know about you guys, but I seen it in Robert's.
The what?
It's like it says like at the whatever minute mark something happens and then it wants you to click a link. Like it's a spam thing. I seen it in Roberts. I reported it in Roberts. I always block them when they pop up in mine. That's like the main comment I get. It seems like it happens immediately, but anyway, good discussion, and we'll be back next week. Do it all again. So everybody.